Okay, so today we're going to take a deep dive into the world of Amancio Ortega, the guy behind Zara, one of the richest people on the planet. But he's like this total mystery, never gives interviews, barely any photos out there. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's like he's almost a fashion ninja.
Right. So how did he build this global empire while staying so under the radar?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Totally. I mean, Zara is like the definition of fast fashion. It's everywhere. You'd think the person behind it would be way more out there.
You would, and especially when you think about how much Zara's changed the game.
Exactly. So to get how he operates, I think we got to go back to the beginning.
Makes sense.
So Ortega's story starts in 1936 in this small town in Spain. His family didn't have a lot, and he had to leave school at 14.
Wow, 14.
Yeah, to work at a clothing store. So I'm thinking maybe that's what sparked his whole vision.
Yeah, I mean, being that young, surrounded by clothes, seeing what people want but maybe can't afford. It's like a real-world business lesson, right?
Oh, for sure. It's not some textbook thing. It's his life. And you can see how that understanding of everyday needs is a huge part of Zara's success. He wanted to make stylish clothes affordable to everybody. And that's where the whole fast fashion thing was born.
And it really was a revolution. Because back then, most brands took months to get designs to the stores. Ortega got it down to like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Are you serious?
Totally changed the game.
That's mind-blowing. I can barely decide what to wear in 2 weeks. How do you pull that off?
Vertical integration. Zara controls almost every part of the process. Design, manufacturing, retail, the whole thing.
They cut out the middleman.
Pretty much. They own a lot of their factories, even their suppliers. So they're not messing around with long waits or price negotiations.
They're like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly.
So they spot a trend design and make it, boom, it's in stores before anyone else can even blink.
That's the Zara way.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And while other brands are spending millions on ads, Zara just uses their stores and the buzz from their constantly changing styles.
Yeah, their stores are basically giant billboards.
So you walk by, see something new, and you're like, I gotta have that.
They totally tap into that fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Like if you don't buy that jacket today, it'll be gone tomorrow.
Exactly. They keep stock low on purpose to create that urgency.
And it works.
It definitely works.
It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This super fast-paced business.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy running it is like a ghost.
I know. It's kind of strange.
It's like he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
To add to the whole mystery of the brand.
Yeah. It's like a marketing strategy almost.
Right.
There's something kind of cool about a leader who lets their work speak for itself.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the opposite of how so many other fashion people are.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We're so used to seeing designers, CEOs,
Yeah.
all over magazines at every fancy event.
Right.
But Ortega is like, nope.
The opposite.
He lives this super simple life. Apparently, he even eats lunch with his employees in the cafeteria.
Yeah. He's known for being really down to earth, just focused on the work, not all the fancy stuff.
That's awesome.
Huh.
I wonder if his humility actually helps Zara's success.
That's a good point.
Like how?
Well, think about it. Zara's not about being exclusive or super expensive. It's about making good design affordable for everyone.
Right.
And the fact that their leader lives that way, it makes the brand seem more real,
Yeah, I get it. It's not just marketing, it's genuine. So we've got this guy, Ortega, master of speed efficiency, knows what customers want. But are there bigger lessons here? I mean, is this just about fashion or is there something more?
I think there's definitely some stuff we can all learn from him, no matter what we do.
Like what? Give me the main points.
Okay, so first, Ortega shows us that you don't need to be born rich to be successful. He started with nothing. But he had this vision and the drive to make it happen.
It's like the classic story, right? Start small, think big.
Exactly.
But it's one thing to have a dream, it's another to actually do it.
Oh, for sure. And that's where his focus on speed and adapting comes in.
So he was always looking ahead.
Yeah, he saw that the world was changing, and he was ready to change with it, even if it meant breaking the rules.
He's like a trailblazer.
Totally. And I think that's so important for all of us. Things move so fast these days, you got to be able to adapt, or you'll get left behind.
You snooze, you lose.
Right.
So vision, adaptability.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, there's also something to be said about him staying out of the spotlight, especially with social media being so huge now.
Yeah, it's like everyone's trying to be famous.
But Ortega shows that you don't need all that to be successful. Sometimes letting your work speak for itself is way more powerful.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
He's not bragging or anything. He's just quietly building an empire. It's kind of inspiring.
It is. And it makes you wonder if him not talking to the media is part of his strategy.
Yeah, it makes you want to know more.
Yeah.
Like, what's he really like? What's the secret?
Totally. It's like this mystery around him and the brand.
Right.
And in a way, it makes Zara seem more authentic. It's not about some big shot designer or CEO. It's about the clothes.
And they're really good at that, like giving people what they want.
Oh, yeah. They're all about the customer.
It's like they're saying, hey, we don't need to brag.
Mm.
Our clothes speak for themselves.
Exactly.
And I think that message really works, especially these days when everything's so hyped up.
I know, right?
Zara's almost like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, they're different.
It makes you think about what it really means to be successful. Does it always have to be so loud?
That's interesting.
Like Ortega, he's doing his own thing.
Yeah, and it's working.
Big time. So I guess as we wrap up our deep dive into Amancio Ortega, we're left with a lot of questions.
Yeah, he's a real enigma.
But one thing's for sure, he's a brilliant businessman, a total visionary, and he's figured out how to stay out of the spotlight.
And maybe that's the biggest lesson here.
Yeah, you don't have to follow the crowd. You can define success on your own terms.
And sometimes the quietest people make the biggest impact.
Absolutely. So that's it for our deep dive on Amancio Ortega. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep exploring, keep asking questions. And until next time, keep on diving.